Chelsea and Manchester City both trying to get deals done before 7 o'clock tonight. And I tell you what, they are running out of time. Chelsea trying to get Jamie Gittens over the line. Kaveh Solokol has got some news. What have you got?
Well, the latest information we have is that time has almost run out for Chelsea to sign Jamie Gittens today. I think it's looking very unlikely now, but the information we're getting is that Chelsea will try to sign him again when the window reopens next Monday, because the window's closing at 7 o'clock, but it's reopening next Monday. So they're not going to give up. Even if they don't get Gittens today, I don't think they will now, because these discussions have been going on too long. They haven't been able to come to an agreement. They will try again. I'm also being told again that Chelsea are being very disciplined, the same as with Mike Maignan. They've got a valuation for a player and they will not go above that valuation. They won't overpay for Jamie Gittens. They think they know what he's worth and they won't pay more than that. Also, I think they believe that Borussia Dortmund will sell Gittens this summer because apparently he doesn't fit into the style of play or the way the new head coach there wants to play. And they know that the player himself really, really wants to move to Chelsea. So with all that in mind, I think Chelsea's thinking is, let's not overpay and get too excited and carried away just because there's this first deadline. Let's wait until the window opens next Monday, and we've got the rest of the summer to try and do a deal for Jamie Gittens. And if Borussia Dortmund don't play ball, we'll switch our attention to another target. Sky Germany are being a little bit more bullish than we are at the moment, because Sky Germany are basically saying the deal is off.
Right.
They're saying the deal is off. Chelsea are not offering enough money. Interestingly, the Dortmund sporting director, Sebastian Kehl, was due to be giving a media briefing to journalists this evening. Now, that was cancelled because everybody assumed that he was locked in these discussions with Chelsea and a deal was about to be done. So I want to find out in the next few minutes from Sky Germany whether he's still going to be holding that briefing, because if he is, I'm sure our reporters from Sky Germany will be at that briefing and we'll be able to get the latest from Dortmund's perspective.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Kaveh. Right. Let's speak to European football expert Andy Brassell, who joined us now. Andy, very good evening. So, Kaveh's saying the Gittens deal might be off for now, but Chelsea will try and get him before the next window finishes. If they do get him, what would he bring to the club?
A winger who's a lot more direct than anything they already have, which I think is always the point, isn't it, when you're signing a player? Give yourself something that you don't have already. Now, of course, they've tried different people on the left side. And I think when we're talking about getting a winger from Dortmund, we have to talk about the link between Jadon Sancho, who's just left Stamford Bridge, and Jamie Gittens, who might be taking his place, because that kind of happened already at Dortmund. They've both come on similar career paths, from playing academy football at Manchester City to going over for their first experience of senior football at Dortmund. And it's worked well for both of them. I think they're very, very different sort of forwards, though, because Sancho, who took Gittens under his wing and actually really helped boost him into the player that he became last season, it's absolutely fascinating, really, to look at him and think that Sancho is a player who likes to beat a player. Now, Gittens likes to do that too, but also you're more likely to get a shot and a goal at the end of it from Gittens. He had a brilliant first half of the season, there's no doubt about that. Second half of the season, not quite as good. Hasn't only scored one goal since January and no assists since then. So I think the feeling is it would be better for everyone at this point if he moved on.
Andy, tell us about Ryan Cherki. How good is he?
Well, I think a lot of the way that the deal has come together can tell you about the progress he's made in the last year. Because if you remember at the back end of last season's transfer or last summer's transfer window, Mike, you had Crystal Palace and Fulham being offered him for 15 million euros. Now he's gone to City for nearly 3 times that, despite the fact his contractual situation has not really changed. The talent has been there since he's 15, 16. It's been clear. And for someone at his age, he's only 21, to have played that many first games, played well over 100 first-team games for Lyon, shows you that they're getting someone very experienced. But what they've got is someone who last summer was considered a great talent, is now a great player. And there's a big definition there, because Cherki always had it all. You know, he could nutmeg you in a phone box, 2 great feet, super delivery, could go around any player you like. But now he's put that all together in the context of being a footballing adult almost. So the bit where he didn't get the move that he wanted last summer, and he thought he would go to PSG or Dortmund actually next summer. Dortmund had another go for him in January. And that didn't happen. And all of a sudden they were trying to foist him to clubs who are maybe not so glamorous in the Premier League, with all due respect to Palace and Fulham. I think it made him knuckle down and think, right, okay, I've got to start playing a little bit more realistically now. He's far better in knowing when to keep the ball and when to release the ball. He doesn't dribble for the sake of it. You look at the fact he's got 11 goals and 20 assists last season, shows you just what bang you're getting for your buck. I think City are getting him at absolutely the right time.
Are Liverpool going to get Florian Wirtz at the right time? They're going to have to pay well over £100 million. Is he worth that?
Yeah, he absolutely is worth that. I think he's one of the best midfield players in Europe. Again, you look at the age and you're getting 10 years service out of him, notwithstanding any possible injuries or whatever. And I remember speaking to Xabi Alonso about him last season, and him saying, well, look, everyone is trusted in this team to fulfill their role, but has to fulfill their role within the tactical setup. Whereas he said Flo gets a little bit more of a pass because I trust him to be able to do stuff in the right places at the right time. He gets that little bit of extra freedom. Now, it's fascinating to me because you don't really get many number 10s in the Premier League. Someone like him, I think, really shows us that Arne Slot wants to develop Liverpool into more of his own team this season. So he gradually evolved it from the Jurgen Klopp model. Maybe they were a little bit more circumspect than Klopp's Liverpool the last season, and it really worked out for them. But Wirtz gives them loads more options, because we've seen him play as a false 9, we've seen him play as a 10, we've seen him even for Germany in wider positions, cutting inside. But having that ability to drift where he wants, I think if you're looking at the fact that Liverpool maybe don't have the centre forward they want at the moment because they're not getting that out of Darwin, it maybe gives them a front 3 with a completely different shape. Maybe that turns into a front 2, be it Salah and Gakpo, be it Diaz and Salah, whoever it might be. And it takes a lot of the creative load off Salah as well, so he can just score goals and maybe spare himself some of the other running that they don't want him to do so much as he's going into his 30s. But, he was one of the rare bright spots, Wirtz, for Germany during the Nations League as well. He's a great player for his country, so adaptable. I mean, he's costing a lot of money for a reason, but for them to get him to reject Bayern Munich, he obviously really believes in this move. It's just a matter of time before it happens.